Hey, what's going on guys? Revo here, and today I'm really excited to be bringing you guys this video on iron golem farms. So I'm going to be outlining all the rules and guidelines for building iron farms in Minecraft 1.11.2 and up, and as things might get outdated with current or additional versions of Minecraft, or for example 1.11.3, should any rules change, I'll be updating the title. So if the title says does not work or something along the lines of that, then do not bother watching the rest of this video. I recently built this quad village iron farm in my single player world, and I had to dig all around the internet for information when it comes to things like spawn rates, village placement, etc. And I thought I'd make a video compiling all this information to make it easier for you guys. It's possible that I may have missed some things in this video, so if there's anything I should have included or a critical role in building an iron farm, please leave it down in the comments below. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the number one thing is you should know when building an iron farm that if you build it in the spawn chunks of your world, it will run 100% of the time that you're playing. This will maximize your iron output and efficiency. What I mean by this is, say you're down in a cave and you're mining and you're doing something else and you're completely out of range, you're like 1,000 blocks away from your iron farm. If it's in your spawn chunks, those chunks will actually be loaded at all times in your world. So you'll be processing iron and gaining your iron count while you're not even nearby or AFKing or anywhere close to the spawner. It's good to know. Number two is every iron farm should be at least 70 blocks away from each other, meaning 70 blocks in Y, X, or Z. You can place one iron farm on top of the other or to next to the other. It just has to be, like, for example, 70 blocks away. AFKing at a farm around Y70, for example, will still load at least both the iron farms. So if you stack one on top of the other and you're standing at the same Y level as the first one, the one on top of it will remain active. That was a big question I had, but after some testing, it does remain active. Number three is each village will spawn an iron golem at around 1 per 6 minutes. The chances of one spawning are about 1 in every 7,000 game ticks. They can spawn in a 16 by 6 by 16 area centered around 21 houses or doors, as you will see later in the video. Every iron farmer village has to have at least 10 villagers in it every single time. If it does not have at least 10, then the village won't spawn a golem or spawn each golem significantly slower. Number 5 is make sure you've covered the heads of your villagers, because if they get struck by lightning, they will turn into witches. If you've ever tried to transport a villager 200 blocks in the sky, you'll know how tedious this is, and you certainly want to avoid replacing villagers as much as possible. This happened to me, it absolutely broke my heart and wasted hours of my time. Rule number 6 is that iron golems are 3x3 units, meaning that they will have to fall through a 3x3 hole, and if killed by a lava blade, as you can see here, it must be on the top block of the 3. Iron golems are clunky and they sink like a rock if you're put in water, so if they fall into lava, they won't try and swim up, they'll just sit there and burn, and then having that extra 2 block space will ensure that the iron doesn't get burned by the lava as well. Last but not least, every single village iron farm will average about 40 ingots per hour. In all of my individual hour tests, I found that I always got between 38 and 60 ingots, however rates may vary. This is a pretty good output, and then as you stack them on top of each other or do additional ones like my quad village, I actually would get 200 ingots per hour. And it's not really a linear progression, if you understand what I mean. So 40 plus 40 plus 40 plus 40 would be 160. I never get 160. I always get more. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but hey, if it works, don't fix it. Alright guys, so now finally we're going to build an iron farm. We're going to create a platform that is 8 blocks thick with a 3x3 hole in the middle. This will be the hole that the golems fall through after they spawn. This platform will also need a 3 high tall wall around it, so you can go ahead and use whatever solid block. Make sure you don't use any glass other than when we hold the villagers, because golems cannot spawn. They have to spawn on solid blocks. They won't spawn on transparent blocks or half blocks. That also means no slabs. Now that we've gotten our walls, you need a space for all your doors or houses. Our village is going to detect each door as a house, which will give us the spawn rates that we want. So in each corner, make a 3 high pillar and then connect them all, leaving a 2 high space. So now, just go ahead and fill in the doors like so. Alright, so now we're just going to create a little 5x3 holding area out of glass for the villagers to stand in. If the villagers are in this area or in this little 3 wide space, they'll be processing entities which will spawn the iron golems. So now that all the holding areas are in and all the doors have been placed, make a roof over the farm starting at the top half of the door like so, or that Y level. This will give it eventually the platform that the majority of the golems will spawn on. It will not affect the way that the doors are placed if you place a block off them like so, right in front of them. The villagers aren't going to try and walk through the doors, they'll never be opened, they're just there for the house count. So now that both layers are finished, place blocks like this in each corner and then fill all the areas with water. You should now get one current that pulls everything into the center. If water is flowing through this hole, you've messed something up and your farm will not reach maximum efficiency. If it is flowing through, I would highly recommend going back and counting each block to make sure it's 8 thick with the hole in the middle, because you really don't want to start adding signs here. It's just have the even number. So now it's up to you to get the villagers inside. So you can really go about this a whole bunch of ways. Some common ways are mine carts. You can build a nether portal at the top and bring them through there. Honestly, the easiest way that I found is just a water-based elevator that you build all the way from the ground. I know it may seem like a little bit crazy, but trying to transport them through the nether or in boats is another common way. It can get kind of tedious. I'm old school, so I'll just build this. I've actually made a video on this in the past, which I'll link down below. It takes patience and this task is very tedious. However, the rewards are great, so be patient. Put some music on, watch some of your favorite YouTube videos, and it'll be over in no time. Also, again, remember you need 10 villagers for maximum efficiency. So now we're going to add the killing chamber, and it goes like this. Place a few glass blocks down to create a chute. Make sure there is enough room for the golems to stand while they burn. I'd go about 5, 6, or 7 blocks down. Make sure that you create the floor out of the 9 hoppers. This is going to collect all the iron. They all should lead into one hopper, which then will funnel into a double chest, so place them like so. The very last thing we need to do now is just add the signs so we can put the lava on top of it. This is the lava blade that's eventually going to kill your iron golems. Make sure that you leave 2 spots, put the sign on the 2nd spot so the lava is on the 3rd row of their head. Remember that golems are 3 tall and you want to hit that top Y level, so I guess the level whichever their head is on, the top 3rd one, and then the iron will drop to the bottom 2, fall in the hoppers and go right in the chest. And now you've completed your very own iron golem farm, and golems will start spawning soon. I'm not going to go super in depth about replicating the process. Pretty much all you want to do if you want a double, triple, or quad iron golem farm is you just go 70 blocks in Y, X, or Z and repeat the process again. You can AFK at any of the platforms, so any of the farms, whether you're in the air or whether you're on the ground, as long as it's within the 70 blocks or a little bit above. So if you're going to have an AFK spot and you have a quad farm like me, I would highly recommend you standing right in the middle of it, exactly in the middle, so at about Y35 if it was 0 and 70, as I'm showing you right now. Definitely you want to have a water stream that brings the golems to the middle. You can just kill them off individually and then I guess use an elytra, fly around and get the rest of the drops, but what I like to do is bring them into the middle, and then also keep in mind that if you stack it on top, you don't have to have a chute going all the way down. They can just fall right through, as you can see here. So that's if you want to replicate this and make a bigger, better iron golem farm. You can make as many as you'd like. You can actually make 8 of these and then have it in a square and then just bring all the golems into the middle, and you'll still get better spawn rates and you'll still be in with range of all of them if you're standing in the middle. So just if you want to make double, triple, or quad ones, just repeat this exact same process. The design doesn't change, but just remember 10 villagers, and then it's a good idea to bring them all to the middle with some type of water stream. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video and are on your way to creating your very own iron farm. I will be updating the title of this video like I said. So currently in 1.11.2, this farm is fully functional, but should things change, I'll update the title so you don't waste your time. Thank you guys all for watching, and enjoy your iron, guys.